Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Eric, and today we are going to be discussing the differences between a credit spread and a debit spread and the application for each. In the scenario that we're looking at today, we're going to be looking at the triple Qs. We're looking at a daily chart in which price has traded up above 676 and below 670. And we're going to see how using a debit spread differs from using a credit spread and in which scenario you would use these or both. Our bias is that price is going to continue higher, so we are bullish up to a point, up to the 680 level. And we're going to look at how these trades are set up and can be useful in defining risk and using and limiting the amount of capital that we're going to deploy for a particular trade. So let's look at how the setups happen in the credit spread and a debit spread. So as the name implies, with a credit spread, we are getting a credit, meaning we have money deposited in our account when we put the trade on. In this case, it's $36, and our setup is only $1 wide. So the max risk we have, because we are only $1 wide, would be $100 minus the credit we got of 36. So $64 is our max risk on a credit spread trade, one in which we anticipate that price is not going to exceed 681. And I've drawn here a line at the 680 level where we anticipate price going to within the next 7 days. And so in this case, if we put on a credit spread and we are above price at 682 and 681, we get the credit, and as long as price stays below that before we hit the expiration of 11th of May, which is about 7 days out, we get to keep the credit that was deposited in our account of $36 per spread that we put on. Again, we're buying the 682, selling the 681. We're above price, and with a credit spread on a call, we are anticipating price to stay below a 680 level. In this case, we're above it at 681 and 682. So if price stays below that, the credit is ours to keep, and we're looking for an expiration date of about 7 days out. So anytime in that range, we could close this trade, and keep a portion of this or all of it if it expires below the 681 level. Now with the debit spread, as this name implies, we are paying $36 to enter this trade. We still have the same bias. We're still expecting price to move higher towards 680. But in this case, we are looking for price in the debit that we paid to go higher so that when we sell it and we get a credit, that it'll be more than the $36 that we paid. Now, again, it's a defined risk strategy wherein we are buying the 681 and selling the 682 in anticipation of price moving higher in this position. Same expiration dates, 11th of May, same tickers. The only difference is in the case of the debit, we are buying the 681 and selling the 682. So price, those options are above where we anticipate price to go to. But because we're down here in the 675 range at this point, we would be looking at this debit increasing in value so that when we do exit, we can exit at a profit. Now, because it's a defined risk trade, we've put a cap on, it's capped by the amount that we can actually make in this trade, which is, again, a $1 wide spread, which means that just like in the risk of our debits, our credit spread, we had $64. The max return on our debit spread is $64. And for that return to happen, we would need to see price trade above 682. So we do get the advantage with the debit spread of price moving higher in our bias as it moves towards 680, but we are limited on the downside because we paid a $36 debit, and that's the most that we could lose in this trade. So a very defined risk trade with a great opportunity, anticipating that bullish position, price moving higher, and we have 7 days to work with. So very high probability that that trade is going to work out. Same with the debit spread or the credit spread, because we're above price. If price does start encroaching or moving up towards 680, we could exit our trade and keep a portion of the credit that we received or if price moved in the opposite direction, then we would just let it expire and we get to keep the whole credit that we put on. So again, the difference between these are just different strategies, different way of looking at the same coin, different sides of the same coin. In one, we're getting a credit and we are above price, anticipating the price is not going to exceed a certain point, in this case 681, and in another, we are below price and anticipating the price is going to rise. We're just not sure how fast or where it's going to get to, but we're limited in our exposure because we have a $36 debit, which is the most that we could lose putting this trade on. So these again are ways in which we can take advantage of strategies that anticipate moves either higher or lower and within ranges, and both of them are very forgiving because we have time on our side. We're not buying a straight put or call, and so therefore we don't have the full exposure of the volatility that can happen in this range until it gets to where we anticipate it going, somewhere around the 680 level. We use a spread because we're buying one and selling one, and in doing so we mitigate volatility related to them and still get to participate in the market and see a significant return in a very short period of time as we see the scenario play out, where in this case a bullish position over the next 7 days is very probable. If you would like more information about trading options and the different strategies that we use related to spreads, click on the link below and we will send you information related to our strategies.